Get away from the clerk. Today, former Ward 1 council. Licensing Committee for Tuesday, March 26th. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Counsel Field?
Present.
Present. Counsel Hogan?
Present.
Present. Counsel Net?
Present.
Present. Counsel Allensug?
Present.
Present. Counsel Meji Madre? Absent.
Taxi operators.
Okay.
Yep.
We have a new taxi operator, Henry Almonte, 131 Johnson Street.
Mr. Almonte's here in the audience. What's the wish of the committee?
Motion to approve.
A motion to approve.
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? None. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The license is granted. Mr. Almonte, your license will be ready Thursday after 8:30 in the clerk's office. All set. Gracias.
Okay. We have Fermina Gomez de Urbaez.
Yep, she's here. What is the wish of the committee?
I move to approve.
Motion to approve. We have a second. Any discussion? None. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That license is also granted. Thursday morning after 8:30 in the clerk's office, your license will be ready. Thank you for being here. You too. Thank you.
Louis Montoya, 75 Chatham Street.
Mr. Montoya is here. What's the wish of the committee?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Second. Any discussion? None. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That license is also granted after 8:30 at Thursday in the clerk's office. Gracias. Thank you.
Okay, we have Luis Lorazano, 15 Waite Road.
Mr. Lorenzo, are you here? Mr. Lorenzo, are you here?
Luis Lorenzo.
Nope. What's the wish of committee?
Motion to table.
Motion to table, non-debatable. All in favor of tabling? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That license is tabled. Thank you. And last,
And the last one is Rigoberto Salguero, 20 Hancock Street, Everett.
Mr. Salguero? Mr. Salguero, are you here? No. What is the wish of the committee?
Motion to table.
We have a motion to table. We have a second, non-debatable. All in favor of tabling? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That license is also tabled. Livery.
Okay, we have AAA Courier Inc., owner El Hassan Madoui, 215 Fayette Street.
Right here. He's here. What's the wish of the committee?
Motion to
We
approve.
have a motion to approve.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? None. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That livery license is granted. Your license will be ready on Thursday after 8:30 in the clerk's office. Thank you.
Okay, we have Captain Saleh Limousine Inc., owner Zaid Saleh. Right here.
He's here. Thank you. What's the wish of the committee?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to
Second.
approve. We have second. Any discussion? None. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
You want some
That license is also granted. Thursday after 8:30 in the clerk's office, that license will be ready.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck. New livery operators.
Okay, we have Delvis Batista, 144 Broad Street.
Thank you for being here, Delvis. What's the wish of the committee?
Make a motion to
We
approve.
have a motion to approve.
Second.
Second. Any discussion?
No.
None. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? License is granted. It'll be ready Thursday after 8:30 in the clerk's office. Thank you.
Yeah, we have Stephen Clements, 37 Child Street.
Clements is here. What's the wish of the committee?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve.
Second.
Second, any discussion? None, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? That license is granted Thursday after 8:30 in the clerk's office. Your license will be ready. Thank you.
We have Mitzi Gaston, 112 Wyman Street.
Ms. Dunn is here. Thank you.
Make a
What's the wish of the
motion.
committee?
Motion to
We
approve.
have a motion to approve.
Second.
Second, any discussion? None, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That license is granted and will be ready Thursday after 8:30 in the clerk's office. Thank you. We have a auto repair flammable new owner.
Yep, we have 109 Linfield Street, Polo Auto Repair. The owner is Apolinaro Gomez Chavez.
Mr. Chavez is here. Any discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to say something. Mr. Gomez, I'd just like to welcome you to the Ward 1 community. I wish you nothing but success, and as we spoke before, I think there's no higher evidence of the American dream than working for yourself. Best of luck.
Thank you, Counselor.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve.
Second.
Second, any further discussion? None, okay. I just want to point out during discussion, Mr. Deland, will you stand up for just a moment, please? Whether you knew him on his birth certificate as Ernest Deland, I think everybody else in the city knows him as Rod Deland.
From the middle name, Roderick.
Roderick. Rock and Rod. One of my good friends personally, and I think a good friend to so many in the city. I want to congratulate you personally. 56 years of service at R&R American on Linfield Street. He deserves his retirement. And so we have a motion to approve and seconded. Any further discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chavez, you got a long time to go to catch Rod.
You don't have to catch him. There's no catching Rod. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That license for new ownership is approved. Thank you. Thank you both for being here, and I wish you luck. And Rod, I wish you a happy retirement. Well deserved.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Brian.
Do you want to share any words at all? I know I don't want to put you on the spot.
Just the outpouring.
Come to the podium, just because we're on TV right now, so people are going to be hearing you at home. I want to make sure they're able to hear you, Rod.
The outpouring of retirement cards and gifts is just overwhelming. I guess you can't believe it.
Sure.
So I
Well deserved.
done something right.
Yeah, you did. Any advice for the rest of us waiting to get to retirement?
I'll let you know when it actually happens. We were working every day, cleaning out the shop. I don't know much stuff I accumulated in 56 years.
On behalf of the City Council, we wish you a long, healthy, happy retirement, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next.
Okay, we have a new flammable license, 82-86 Sanderson Ave, American Design Iron Works. Eduardo Costa is the owner.
Councilor Allenson?
I motion to table this, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Okay, we have a second. It's non-debatable. All in favor to table this license? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That new license is tabled, and Councilor Allenson will work that up. Thank you.
Okay, we have renewals.
We'll take them as a whole if we can. What's the wish of the committee?
Take them as a whole.
Take them as a whole. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Motion.
We have a motion
Second.
to approve, seconded. Any further discussion on the renewables? None, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Those are all granted. We have two canning dates, Madam Clerk.
Yeah, we have the Lynn Tech Cheer Team, adults only, July 5th, 6th, and 7th, 2024. And we have Gowdy Park Association, April 11th, May 24th, and June 15th.
What is the wish of the committee? For those two.
Motion approved.
Motion approved by Councilor Hogan. We have seconded by Councilor Allenson. Any discussion on those two
Nope.
requests? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Those two dates, those two organizations are granted their dates. Any other business, Madam Clerk?
No new business.
New business, what's the wish of the committee?
Make a motion to adjourn.
We have a
Second.
motion to adjourn, seconded. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
I'd like to call to order the Public Property and Parks Committee agenda for Tuesday, March 26. Roll call, please.
Counselor Chakutis?
Present.
Present Counselor LaPierre. Absent Counselor Net.
Present.
Present Counselor Matul.
Present.
Present Counselor Alanson.
Present.
Present.
All
The
right.
first one is a discussion. Ordered that the Law Department and Purchasing Department prepare and publish a request for proposals in the Central Register as the City of Lynn is seeking to purchase property to be utilized for public school purposes.
All right. Attorney Lamanna.
City is looking to find some office space here in the city. Right now, we rent quite a bit of space for the school department. Some of that money cannot be counted toward net school spending after 3 years, so the decision's been made to see if there's any properties that could be available for the administration building or other municipal purposes that may be for sale, and we'll see if any bids come in. That's the reasoning. The amount of money we're spending for leases right now is high, and it will not count for net school spending as we move forward on.
All right.
Mayor's office has anything else to add?
Tanya, do you have anything to add?
Madam Chair, can this council be furnished a copy of all the listed properties or offices that the city is renting outside of City Hall, just for informational purpose for us in the future as well?
All right. Can we?
Yeah. Yep.
Thank
Yes,
you.
we have,
Yes,
we have
we'll
a
do
list
that.
of that stuff. Yeah, and Jim's completely right, yeah. LPS obviously continues to have space needs. I think overall, the school enrollment is up 15% over the last 10 years. We are renting space for pre-K, office space, and we're essentially looking to assess the market to see if there are any properties suitable for our needs. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any questions? All right. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Yeah, second. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Roll call, please.
Roll call.
This one is the roll
Counselor
call, yes.
Chakutis? Pardon me? Yes. Counselor Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor LaPierre, absent. Counselor Net?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Matul?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Alanson?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
Next is, we have a request from the Director of the Lynn Public Library to use the foyer on Tuesday, April 9th, 2024, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. in celebration of National Library Week. They would like to set up a table promoting library services and to sign up employees and the public for library cards.
All right. Anybody here from the library? No. I did speak with Teresa yesterday, so we're all set. She's just using it the 9th, 4 to 7. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, what's the wish of the committee?
Motion to accept?
Second.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay, next we have a request from the Lynn Parks and Rec to use the foyer for a photo shoot with the Easter Bunny on the following days. Tuesday, March 26th from 3:30 to 7:30, Wednesday, March 27th from 1:30 to 3:30, Friday, March 29th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. The Veterans Director has moved the Vietnam Veterans Day ceremony to the auditorium.
All right. Deputy Commissioner Lisa Nerick is here. Lisa, do you have anything to add?
I have to work that out with the Veterans Office, because I thought I was going into the auditorium, but
Okay.
I'll talk to Mike Sweeney on that.
All
So
right.
there's no confusion.
Okay. Any
I'm
questions?
flexible.
Any questions?
Why there's no Thursday?
Because the bunny's not available.
Oh, the bunny's not available. Can we request Terry Young to replace the bunny for Thursday?
Bunny's got to work one day a week.
Be the money?
Motion to approve, Madam
Sunday.
Chair.
All right, second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You're all set.
And the last one is a request from EDIC to hang a banner promoting the Lynn Summer Kickoff event on June 15, 2024. The date and location to be determined at a later date.
All right. Anybody here from EDIC? I did speak with Pauline last week, and we were all set. She was connecting with Jamie Cerulli and ISD, so they approved it. What's the wish of the committee?
Make a motion to approve.
Second? You have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. What's the wish of the committee?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay. Motion to adjourn.
All right. Good evening. Welcome to the Ways and Means Committee meeting. Madam Clerk, I call the meeting to order. Please,
Councilman?
roll call.
Counsel Net?
Yes, present.
Counsel Hogan?
Present.
Counselor Chakutis?
Present.
Present. Counselor Walsh?
Present.
Present. Counselor Field?
Present.
Present.
Could you please read the transfer, Madam?
We have $480 from Veterans Expense to the bill of prior year.
What's the wish committee?
Motion to approve. Second.
Roll call, please.
Counselor Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hogan?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Walsh?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Field?
Yes.
$21,000 from the Election State Fund to the city clerk payroll for the OT costs for presidential election.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counselor Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hogan?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Walsh?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Field?
Yes.
$10,880.70 from the Election State Fund to fund payroll costs for the presidential election.
Motion approved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Counselor Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hogan?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Walsh?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Field?
Yes.
Certified funds, please.
We have $22,106.99 to the Fire Department for the FY24 firefighter equipment grant.
What's the wish committee?
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counselor Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hogan?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Walsh?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Field?
Yes.
Yes. $136,808 to the Health Department for the operations of the Senior Center grant.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counselor Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hogan?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Walsh?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Field?
Yes.
Yes. $99,800 to the Planning Department for the FY24 Lynn Cultural Council Annual Grant Award.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counselor Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hogan?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Walsh?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Field?
Yes.
$15,000 to the Planning Department for the Downtown Lynn Cultural.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counselor Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hogan?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Walsh?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Field?
Yes.
Next.
We have the ARPA funds from the American Rescue Plan Act. $1,070,010 for cost overrun for the elevator installation at the GAR building.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counselor Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hogan?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Walsh?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Field?
Yes.
$200,000 for summer jobs for the youth via EDIC.
Motion approved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Counselor Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hogan?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Walsh?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Field?
Yes.
Yes. $300,000 for consulting and outreach services for the Harbor Park project.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counselor Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hogan?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Walsh?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Field?
Yes.
Yes. $90,000 for consulting and outreach services for the Lynn Side Out for the FY24-26 via EDIC.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counselor Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hogan?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Walsh?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Field?
Yes.
Yes. $52,000 to fund the park and recreational swimming lessons and skills and drills basketball program.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counselor Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hogan?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Walsh?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Field?
Yes.
$200,000 for the CALM branding startup costs for marketing for the newly created CALM team.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counselor Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hogan?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Walsh?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Field?
Yes.
Orders, please.
We have ordered that the city accept a gift from Win Innovations, formerly known as Wheeler Brader, in the amount of $2,500 for the purpose of donating resources for civic events, example, Student Government Day.
What's the
Motion to
wish-
approve.
Second.
Roll call. Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Hogan?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Field?
Yes.
Yes. Ordered that the City of Lynn accept a gift of 7 surplus Apple iMac computers from Lynn Community Television to Lynn Educational Television Department of the Lynn School Department.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counselor Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Hogan?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Field?
Yes.
Any emergency on this? No emergency? All right, so what's the wish?
Motion adjourned.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Second.
Let's get everyone's attention for 1 second. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. I see a lot of motorcycle people in the crowd here tonight. It's always good to have you. Had you here last year. I'm going to introduce our mayor, Jared Nicholson, and he's going to read a proclamation. Is Jared Nicholson?
Thank you, Council President Walsh. Good evening, councilors. Thank you for having us. It is my honor to share this mayoral proclamation, and thank you to all from the motorcycle community for joining us again this year. Whereas the motorcycle is a popular means of transportation for commuting as well as for touring and recreation, and whereas the height of motorcycles traveling along the streets and the back roads all over Lynn and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts between the months of March and October, whereas there is a growing need for cooperation among drivers of automobiles and trucks, motorcyclists, bicyclists, and pedestrians who use our streets and highways to reduce accidents, injuries, and fatalities, whereas it is critical for all Massachusetts citizens to increase their knowledge of the rules of the road and the rights and responsibilities of all roadway users, whereas over 1,100 motorcycles are owned and operated by our fellow citizen bikers, homeowners, and residents of, and the tens of thousands more visiting and touring our historic city from neighboring communities in the entire United States and from overseas, whereas numerous departments and organizations are committed to making our streets and highways safe for all motor vehicle related transportation, urging and reminding drivers to check twice, save a life. Motorcycles are everywhere. Check twice when pulling out and backing out from parked positions. Check twice when making left turns. Check twice when changing traffic lanes. Check twice for our fellow citizen bikers of Lynn, and visitors to our city on motorcycles. Now, therefore, I, Jared C. Nicholson, Mayor of the City of Lynn, join with the Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and hereby proclaim March 24th to April 30th, 2024 to be Motorcycle Safety Awareness Season here in our city of Lynn, and wish all who ride an enjoyable and safe riding season. I'd like to turn it over to my colleague, Councilor Field.
Here we go.
Thank you, Mayor Nicholson. And as Chair of the Public Safety Committee, I make a motion to approve the proclamation from the mayor.
Second?
Second. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Counselor Allensburg?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Field?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Hogan?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor LaPierre? Absent. Counselor Matul?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor McLean?
Yes.
Counselor Meany?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Meji Madre?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Net?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Walsh?
We have a unanimous vote by our committee. Thank you. And at this time, I invite my uncle, late Uncle Dave Field's good friend, Christine Sullivan, ahead to receive the proclamation from the city. Thank you.
If anybody would like to come forward and take pictures at this time, come on over to the rail here, or even up front if they can get them in here.
Council. Council.
Yeah, if I count, they're the council colleagues want to come on up, please.
All righty, let's go, guys. Get up there, Coco.
I'll stand behind you.
Okay, okay.
Go. I'd like to call the Tuesday, March 26, 2024 council meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Counselor Aronsug?
Present.
Present Counselor Chakutis?
Present.
Present Counselor Field?
Present.
Present Counselor Hogan?
Present.
Present Counselor LaPierre?
Present.
Present Counselor Matul? Present. Present Counselor McLean?
Present.
Present Counselor Meany?
Present.
Present Counselor Meji Madre?
Present.
Present Counselor Net?
Present.
Present Counselor Walsh?
Present. Will we all rise for a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance?
President, can we remember the family of Herb Simpson, Jr.?
Special prayer to Ward 3 resident Tom Higgins, Mr. President.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We accept the minutes from the March 12th meeting. We have a motion to accept the March 12th meeting. We do. Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Meeting, okay, accepted them. Communications.
We have a city council appointment to the Human Rights Commission, Nayeli Estrella, 17 Hancock Street in Lynn.
What's the wish of the council?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Counselor Aronsug?
Nayeli Estrella.
Nayeli? Counselor Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Field?
Nayeli Estrella.
Nayeli? Counselor Hogan?
Nayeli Estrella.
Nayeli? Counselor LaPierre?
Nayeli Estrella.
Nayeli? Counselor Matul?
Nayeli Estrella.
Nayeli? Counselor McLean?
Nayeli Estrella.
Nayeli? Counselor Meany?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Meji Madre?
Nayeli Estrella.
Nayeli? Counselor Net?
Yaneli Estrella.
Nayeli? Counselor Walsh?
Nayeli Estrella.
Nayeli?
All right, so Nayeli's in the crowd here tonight. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Public hearings.
We have the petition of William J. D'Andrio of Fountain Realty Trust for permission to construct a multi-use business center containing the following uses: contractor yard, auto repair, auto body, builder's yard, shop, boat construction, maintenance, repair, light manufacturing, research, development, warehousing, and garaging at 26 Alley Street. Hours of operation will be 24 hours, 7 days per week.
Anyone wishing to speak in favor?
Good evening, everyone. My name's Tom DeMarcus. I'm a lawyer with offices here in Lynn, and I represent the petitioner, Bill D'Andrio of Fountain Realty Trust. Many of you may know Bill, and at least by reputation, he and his brother Rob have D'Andrio Brothers Construction, one of the most proficient and highly regarded construction firms in the area. And they're also well known for their dedication to the community and for the way that they have a high standard for everything that they do. They have signed a purchase and sale agreement to buy 26 Alley Street. And right now, 26 Alley Street has one tenant. It's a printing place, graphics place. And the gentleman that owns that is older and wants to either retire or downsize, and he's going to move out. So the owner of the building signed a purchase and sale agreement with Bill D'Andrio. And what Bill would like to do with it is construct a multi-use business center, which is pretty general, but I'll be more specific. What he'd really like to do is put contractors' bays in there. There's a crying need for contractors' bays in the city of Lynn. And he could put 6 contractors' bays there and rent them out to who knows who, plumbers, electricians, body shops, auto mechanics, all the potential uses that we listed. And probably not a boat construction guy, but we got those on the petition too, just in case. A lot of those uses, we needed a variance from the Board of Appeals, and we went to the Board of Appeals in February, and they granted a variance. And a lot of these uses, we need a special permit from the City Council. The Board of Appeals variance was conditioned upon getting a special permit from the council. We went in front of the development team, the mayor's development team, and they were very enthusiastic. They thought it was an appropriate use, and even though Alley Street is Waterfront 1, they thought it was very appropriate use. You know, you go down Alley Street, everybody knows it's body shop, body shop, body shop, body shop, printing place, body shop. So it'll be very good for the neighborhood. It'll improve the neighborhood, and the development team was in favor, and Councilor Hogan, we had a consultation with him, and he was also present at the development team meeting. So unless anybody has any questions of me, I'll leave it to Councilor Hogan.
All right. So have you just take a seat in case someone has some questions, and we'll go from there. Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in favor?
Calvin Anderson, 12 Concord Street. Now, I've been in town 24 years, and at least 23 of them, I've been hoping somebody's going to come up with a proposal for this. I'm the type of guy that buys used cars, a working class community, and I'm the working poor. So anything that gets us out of the dealer's clutches is good enough for me. Now, the alley in Bennett Street corridor for years has been a place for small independent garages, repair shops, brake people, muffler shops, body shops, and all that. And there's a couple of other parcels there that I was hoping and pitching over the years might be just this very thing. Because basically mechanics just need a place to put their lift, to maybe have a washroom and a little place to put a cold, like a refrigerator or something. But the only thing is we have to take into consideration raising the bar or doing something differently about the parking situation. I know all the garages, they try their best to, by time they close and over the weekends, not have anything on the sidewalks and the narrow street. But I know that's the most important thing over there. So if there's any way of creatively working into having a parking lot included in this, it would be great. But I'm totally for this. It's a great concept, and I do all my auto repairs over there. Hector at 15, Jose across the street does my body work at Caribbean. I've been going there for 24 years. So this is exactly what this neighborhood needs.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in favor? You're in favor, Jeffrey?
Yes, sir. And the reason I'm speaking in favor is about the contracting part is there's a lot of people that do contracting, and lately a lot of it's been very shoddy and not done properly, or using materials that are not adequate. And the D'Andrios have a reputation for doing top quality work all the time and not allowing people that work under their wing, right, to do work unless it's done the way it's supposed to be. So I think it would, I know that whole family for many, many years growing up around them and seeing their work, that it would be a real good idea the more that we could get that wants to do the work properly. So all the work that's been done around many towns and cities the last several years has been very shoddy and poor and unsafe. And I know that they don't allow that, and all their work has come out real, real well. So that's why I would recommend it, because they do top-notch work. And of course, all the inspectional services and boards of health and contract and OSHA and all of them, they require that actually by law, that the work be done well.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else want to speak in favor? Anyone else wishing to speak in favor? Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Seeing on that part of the hearing is closed. Anybody in opposition? Anybody like to speak in opposition? Anybody in opposition? Seeing none, that part of the hearing is closed. What is the wish of the council? Councilor Hogan.
Yes, I went to the development team, and they presented a good proposal to us for that section of Alley Street. We already have no parking on the street anyway, just because there is a lot of other businesses there. They have plenty of room in their parking lot. I'm very familiar with the area. And also, they have another business over on Oakville Street that is also in Ward 6. So I know that the D'Andrea brothers are good tenants to have in our area, and I'd like to make a motion to approve.
So we have a motion to approve, we have a second.
Second.
We have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Councilor Field.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to say I couldn't agree more with Jeffrey.
Wow.
And Attorney Marcus. I know Councilor Hogan's done his due diligence. The D'Andrea family does have an amazing reputation. And certainly what we focus on is in the city is anything going from commercial base, remaining commercial base is something that we should always support whenever we can. So I encourage everybody to also join in supporting this. Thank you.
Okay. Any other discussion? I'd like to agree with my colleagues. I think this is going to be a good fit. We need commercial space in the city. People are begging for it. And it's good for the city because it creates jobs and helps with our tax base. So any other discussion? Roll call.
Councillor Allensog.
Yes.
Yes. Councillor Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes. Councillor Field?
Yes.
Yes. Councillor Hogan?
Yes.
Yes. Councillor LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes. Councillor Matul?
Yes.
Yes. Councillor McLean?
Yes.
Yes. Councillor Meany?
Yes.
Yes. Councillor Meji Madre?
Yes.
Yes. Councillor Net?
Yes.
Yes. Councillor Walsh?
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you very much. Public hearings to be set down.
We have a home rule petition amending Chapter 58 of the Acts of 2018 in Section 6-11 and 10-3 of the Lynn City Charter. Petition of Crown Castle Fiber LLC to replace the antenna and replace a shroud on the light pole at 19 Garland Street. Petition of Comcast for grant of locations at the following locations: 60 Andrew Street, 125-189 Oxford Street, and 189 Oxford Street.
What's the wish of the council?
Motion to set them down.
Motion to set them down?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Set them down. Committees, licensing, Councilor Field.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have a unanimous vote by our licensing committee. I make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion, second. Any discussion? Roll call. You don't need a roll call, right? Just all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. Public property. Who did public property? Councilor Jacutis. That's right.
Unanimous vote of the committee, motion to approve.
Motion approved, second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Ways and Means, Councilor Net.
Yes, Mr. President, all unanimous vote of the committee, I make a motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Would the clerk please read it to the register?
We have transfers that laid over from the March 12th meeting, $150 to the parking department for prior year bill, $55,000 to fund the fire department line item for vehicle upkeep, and $125,000 to parking to fund operations and efficiencies. There are transfers in ARPA funds that lay over to the next meeting. Certified funds, $22,106.99 to the fire department for the FY24 firefighter equipment grant, $136,808 to health department for the operations of the senior center grant, $99,800 to the planning department for the FY24 Lynn Cultural Council annual grant award, $15,000 to the planning department for downtown Lynn Council. Orders, we have ordered that the city accept a gift from Win Innovations, formerly known as Wheeler Brader, in the amount of $2,500 for the purpose of donating resources for civic events, including Student Government Day. And ordered that the city of Lynn accept a gift of 7 surplus Apple Mac computers from Lynn Community Television to the Lynn Educational Television Department of the Lynn School Department.
Is that it?
And that's it.
All right. So we have a motion, second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Council Allensog?
Yes.
Yes. Council Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes. Council Field?
Yes.
Yes. Council Hogan?
Yes.
Yes. Council LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes. Council Matul?
Yes.
Yes. Council McLean?
Yes.
Yes. Council Meany?
Yes.
Yes. Council Meji Madre?
Yes.
Yes. Council Net?
Yes.
Yes. Council Walsh?
Yes. Councilor Net, is there something else? Or that?
Yes, I would like to make a motion for emergency on ARPA funds from the American Rescue Plan Act.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion for emergency on the funds. We have a second.
What was the motion? I'm sorry.
It was for the ARPA funds, right, Councilor, for the ARPA funds that are on
ARPA
there?
funds, yeah.
Yep.
To make a motion to
Emergency on all of the ARPA funds, correct?
Just ARPA?
Just ARPA, yeah. Just ARPA.
So we have a
Second.
motion, we have a second. Any discussion on it? Roll call.
Counselor Alonsog?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Field?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hogan?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Matul?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor McLean? Counselor McLean, absent. Counselor Meany?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Mejia Madre?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Net?
Yes,
Yes, Counselor Walsh?
Yes. Was that all, Councilor Net?
that was all. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right.
President, if I may,
yeah.
if the city clerk could read those, I think there are 5 or 6, into the record.
Okay.
They were not read as part of the initial Ways and Means
Okay, we'll
presentation.
have the clerk read them in. Do we need a revote, Jim, or do you just want to read them in?
I'd feel more comfortable if it was a...
That's fine.
A read and a...
Okay, if we could read them in, and then...
Sure.
So we have a motion, and we're going to read them.
Yep, we have $1,070,010 for the cost overrun for the elevator installation at the GAR building, $200,000 for summer jobs for youth via EDIC, $300,000 for consulting and outreach services for the Harbor Park project, $90,000 for consulting and outreach services for the Lynn Side Out event, $52,000 to fund Park and Rec swimming lessons and skills and drills basketball program, and $200,000 to the CALM branding, startup costs for marketing for the newly created CALM team.
All right, so we have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion?
Discussion, Mr. President.
Go right ahead, Councilor Allen.
So, Attorney Lamanna, thank you. I remember, and maybe some of the mayor's team here, we allocated $2 million or something amount for GAR, GAR, a couple of years ago. This is separate money or in addition to what we gave them already?
So this would be in addition. My understanding that it was approximately $1.2 million worth of funding for the GR elevator. I believe there might have been some matching from community development or some additional money allocated from community development. The bids have come in, and the bids were higher than the original estimate, as many things are with the economy and such, and construction materials. So this would be in addition to the first ARPA allocation.
It costs $1.2 million more after a year?
That's my understanding. So that I'm getting a nod from the mayor's office. Yes.
Thank you, Attorney Lamanna. Thank you, Mr. President.
Any other discussion? Roll call.
Counselor Alonsog?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Field?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hogan?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Matul?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor McLean?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Meany?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Mejia Madre?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Walsh?
Yes. Carries. Just want to say that that's a really important building. The people are here from the GAR tonight, and it's been a long road trying to put the money together, I think, in, a lot of different ways. So congratulations, and I'm excited to see it. I want to make sure you invite me, all right? All right. Do we have any old business? Do we have any new business?
Yes. We have a discussion a presentation by Aaron Klaus, the city planner, Vision Zero Action Plan, Traffic Safety Strategies.
Would Aaron want to come on up?
Thank you, Council President and members of the City Council. Aaron Clausen, the Principal Planner for the record. And what's before you for a resolution tonight is to continue, I think, a fairly long effort that the city's made to improve the streets and make them safer for all users, going way back to 2015 when a complete street policy was adopted. Since that time, the city's been very effective in seeking funding through state and federal agencies to make improvements. This is another step in that direction. I think although the Vision Zero commitment, which basically states that the city is going to make an effort in terms of design and construction for new roadways that will eliminate crashes that cause death or serious injury in the city. The resolution is seeking to meet that commitment by 2040, complete an action plan to lay out a strategy to meet that goal, and then a commitment to regularly review that plan and adjust to it based on the variables at that time. So it's an ongoing effort for the city to make its roadways safe for all users. I think it's very appropriate that we're talking about this at this moment based on the conversation earlier about roadways that are safe for motorcyclists, which are one of the most vulnerable roadway users. Although that commitment by itself, I think, is worth making on its own, this is an important next step in making the city eligible for funding through the U.S. Department of Transportation, a program called the Safe Streets for All program, grant program. It's a discretionary program that is recently created from the Infrastructure Act. And by having this resolution in place, completing the action plan as committed to, the city will be eligible for a grant of up to $10 million to implement actions and countermeasures identified in that plan to make our roadways safer. So it's an important first next step in making that come alive. The last thing I just say is that the grant application is due May 16th, and so we're working very quickly to get that ready and submitted, and looking forward to working with all of you and not just getting that grant, but also implementing it to meet those goals. So with that, I'll take any questions.
So anyone have any questions? I know we all have like dozens of intersections in our wards that have got issues, so I think this is a good start and really got our head in the game here on this. Any questions for Aaron by anybody?
We were at the presentation with Aaron. He did a good job explaining to a couple of us at a time. So, and I'd just like to thank Aaron for all his work in pass on the South and Summer Street intersection that we've been going through in Ward 6. But I think this is a great thing for the city and for all our areas and all our dangerous areas. And I just thank him for his work on this here. And this should be great for the city of Lynn.
And I do want to thank Aaron, too, for this amazing work. But I want to know, just to hear again, what are the streets that are being prioritized? Because I know you did go over that in one of the meetings.
There's a large number of them. So there was an initial list of roadway corridors that were identified through the Safe Streets for People playbook that we did a couple years back that really looked back at crash history in the city. And unfortunately, the city of Lynn is one of the cities in the Commonwealth that experiences crashes more frequently than most. So we have a high number of them. And so the priority corridors have been identified looking back at that data. This process through the Safety Action Plan looks at variables and conditions of those roadways to sort of project or estimate where crashes are more likely to occur based on the conditions of that roadway. Not surprisingly, what we found is that those line up pretty succinctly, but it did identify some other additional corridors. For example, though, Western Ave is one of the highest rates of crashes in the city from edge to city boundary to city boundary. Essex Street, Broadway, Boston Street, Washington Street, Franklin, Commercial Street, Summer and South is another one that is a high crash rate. The city has many. The problem is not finding them. The problem is prioritizing them. And I think what the action plan will help us do is come up with a way to quantify and work with both the council, the city departments to identify and prioritize implementation strategies based on the context. So we're not just talking about a one-size-fits-all. We're looking at countermeasures, solutions that could be deployed that respond to the context of the site.
Thank you.
Yep, Councilor Field.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to also just acknowledge Aaron for all the hard work that he's done with this and the way he explained it to all of us. I know Councilor Hogan pointed out South Street as one major intersection that has been improved. It doesn't just take into consideration the crashes, too, from Aaron's presentation, but I think all of us get calls about speeding vehicles and the craziness that's on the roads nowadays. I know Pleasant Street is probably a good example where Council Vice President Chakutis put a lot of effort into keeping the people over in those senior buildings safer by improving those bump outs. And I think this plan moving forward will help, even just a small bit in reducing not just accidents, but speed overall and safety for everyone. So thank you again, Aaron.
All right. Councilor Lapierre.
I'll also follow in commending our city principal planner, Aaron Clausen. Aaron, I have a question that I just thought of after going to your presentation and learning more about this. In terms of neighboring communities, for example, Council President Walsh has got a critical Boston and Hamilton Street area. For example, Councilor Meany, it's Casco Road and Linfield Street, whether it's Peabody or Lynn. How do we, or do we, have any purview over neighboring communities if they're not in on this, or if they're reluctant to pay their fair share, or What does that look like for neighboring communities when you have a Lynn intersection that abuts a Saugus or a Peabody?
Yeah, it's a great question, by the way. I think, we oftentimes in communities in the Commonwealth think just about our cities, but we have neighbors, and that street network is affected by transportation networks in our neighbors. If we're funded through this program, which I think we're really in good position to be funded through the Safe Streets for All, we're most likely only going to be able to use those funds within the city limits. However, we're partnering with Mass Development in both developing the plan, Mass Department of Transportation. We're partnering with them in developing the plan. They're also providing the 20% match. They've committed to that for funding. So we have a state partner who can help with that dialogue and help make improvements that might need to extend into a neighboring town or city. So I think that helps us in that
Perhaps
way.
work with the state delegation in those respective communities.
I think
as
that's
well.
a great idea. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and if I just may, just to get back to the point that Councilor Field made about speed, because I think it's a critical aspect of this whole program and the Vision Zero program across the country, that speed is a critical factor in whether or not there's serious injury or death in a crash. And there's an exponential increase in the instances of death if you go from 20 miles per hour to 30 miles per hour in a crash, or 30 to 40. So bringing down speeds and calming traffic is very important to achieving that goal. So I think speed is, thinking about any way, whether it's through speed limits, through enforcement, through information, with dynamic speed signs that I know you've all talked about many times for good reason, or physical changes to the roadway to slow traffic, and it's the best way to save lives.
I have a question, too. So a lot of the projects that have already happened in the city, particularly the 107 corridor from Market Basket Rotary, I'll call it, all the way to the Salem line, Essex Street, and I don't know exactly the parameters. Is that already being taken into consideration for those intersections previous to this?
Yeah, exactly. Any funding that we would seek through the SS4A program would not go to those projects because they're already funded. Both Essex and Western Ave are funded on a capital plan program through the Boston Metropolitan Planning Organization. So they're funded. They're going to happen. We'll continue to work on that. And it's great that we're receiving that funding. It's state and federal funding because, again, the core principle there is safety. So those are happening, and that helps us with that prioritization because we know we have resources going to these streets. This additional funding it can go to streets that don't necessarily get that attention because either they're smaller, they have less traffic, or maybe they're not rising to the level in terms of crashes where we can seek funding through the MPO. We also have funding programmed in the Boston MPO in partnership with MassDOT that follows on that Safe Streets for All planning process, the playbook that we did. So there's another about $7 million that is similar to this work in that it's systemic, meaning we're not going to focus on one corridor and try to redo the corridor into entirety. We're looking at the whole network and looking at how we can disperse these improvements so that we're getting a response immediately across the city, not in just one location.
All right. Any other questions? Going to have Council Arlington.
Thank you, Mr. President. Are we voting tonight for this?
Going to read the proclamation, and then if we're willing to make a motion to accept it, then that's what we'll do.
Okay. Is this a prerequisite for all of the applications for grant applications and other possible applications for funding? Right?
It's just a prerequisite for the Safe Streets for All U.S. Department Transportation Program.
Then we should vote for this too. Thank you.
Will the clerk read the, what are we calling it? Sorry.
Resolution.
Yeah. Resolution.
Resolution that the City of Lynn shall work in partnership with Mass DOT to complete a roadway safety action plan that includes Vision Zero goal within the City of Lynn. Be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Lynn finds that whereas the City of Lynn adopted a complete streets policy on December 15, 2015, which mandated that all public streets be designated to safely accommodate all roadway users, including people who drive, walk, bike, or use public transportation, and including users of ranging inability. Whereas the city has allocated funding and sought additional funding sources to implement roadway improvements that meet the complete street standard and made significant strides in making our roadway system safe for all users. Whereas the city has conducted several planning efforts in coordination with Mass DOT to improve transportation access and safety for all modes, including the Lynn Transit Action Plan and the Safe Streets for People Playbook. Whereas these planning efforts have established that there remains a large number of high crash locations, pedestrian crash clusters, and bicycle crash clusters as defined by the Highway Safety Improvement Program, and has prioritized a number of corridors for roadway safety improvements. Whereas 17 accidents have occurred in Lynn where people have lost their life and nearly 200 accidents have occurred, including serious injury over a 5-year period. Whereas the City of Lynn is working in partnership with the Mass DOT to complete a roadway safety action plan that includes Vision Zero goal. Whereas Vision Zero is a comprehensive approach and commitment to designing city streets with a goal to eliminate the transportation-related fatalities and severe injuries. Whereas the development of the safety plan action is a collaborative effort across several departments, including planning, community development, public works, inspectional services, police, fire, and in partnership with the mayor's office and the Lynn City Council. Now therefore, and be hereby resolved, the City of Lynn commits to a goal of 0 deaths and serious injuries that are a result of crashes on city streets by 2040. The city will complete the Lynn Safety Action Plan and commit to regular reporting and evaluation of progress on meeting the Vision Goal Zero at least every 2 years upon completion. And finally, that the city will regularly update the Safety Action Plan based on biannual assessment and adapt to underlying conditions and evolving needs of the city to ensure the Vision Zero goal is achieved.
So we would be looking for a motion to grant the...
Motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
Motion to grant the resolution. We have a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilor Allenstook?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Field?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Hogan?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Matul?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor McLean?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Meany?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Mejia Madre?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Net?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Walsh?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Aaron. Appreciate it. And your whole department, all the hard work you guys are doing, so we all recognize that. And I know you've met with all of us at some point about intersections, so thank you for looking for this and getting this to us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you all, and look forward to working with you all as we move this forward.
All right, thank you. Any other new business?
Yeah, we have an order that the tax incentive financing agreement between the City of Lynn and Solion LLC for a business that was to be relocated at 23 Farris Street in Lynn, issued pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 23A, Section 3E, and Chapter 40, Section 59, and Chapter 59, Section 5, which was authorized by a vote of the Lynn City Council on May 10, 2022, is hereby decertified as the planned relocation will not occur.
Could I have Attorney Lamanna come up, just give us an explanation? Thanks.
Correct. EDIC received a communication from one of the principals of Solion stating that for financial reasons they would not be relocating to the 23 Farris Street location, and requested that the City Council decertify the tax agreement. The tax agreement was premised on their relocating the City of Lynn and gradually achieving a certain number of jobs on site. By not relocating, obviously they're not going to be able to meet those job growth commitments they made in the tax agreement.
Jim, what is it we're looking for? A motion to...
Approve the order to decertify?
To
approve the order as written to
decertify
the tax incentive agreement.
Okay.
Financing agreement.
All right, okay, thank you.
Make a motion to approve the order to decertify.
We have a motion to approve the order to decertify. We have a second.
Second.
Any discussion on it?
Is there an amount that's coming back as a result of it being decertified? Do we know anything about that?
It's the, sorry, Jim Lamanna.
I'm sorry, Councilor.
Is there an amount? Is there an amount of money, a known amount, that's going to be coming back to the city because of the decertification of this?
So the city did not front any money. What this tax financing agreement would have called for was less property taxes for I believe the first 5 years, but it's been a few years now. So there's no money that the city put toward this business. That the thought process by
and no money that they already paid out.
Correct.
Nothing
This would have been going forward once they moved, they relocated to the city. They would have gotten a tax break so long as they made commitments to hiring so many Lynn employees and growing their workforce every year. So since they didn't relocate, I'm assuming they didn't purchase the building, and therefore there'll be no tax break for this particular property.
Okay.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, we had high hopes for this. They had jobs. These were good-paying jobs, and for whatever reason, we're not going to end up with them, so it's unfortunate. We all worked pretty hard on this. I know EDIC did and the mayor's office, so. We have a motion. We have a second. Any other discussion on it? Roll call.
Counsel Alanson?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Field?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Hogan?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Matul?
Yes.
Yes, Counsellor McLean?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Meany?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Meji Madre?
Yes.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Walsh?
Yes. Carries. Any other new business?
We have final presentation and update by Joseph Huskins regarding the ARPA funds.
You want to come on up to it? You're going to run the computer, I think? Danielle, are you coming up also from the mayor's office? Okay, thank you.
Yes, Daniel's going to help me out with the slides.
And your first presentation, let's see it.
I know, we're talking about ARPA money, right? I mean, we got these new TVs everyone's looking at, and so you get to use them.
Yes, that's right. And I came back here earlier today to practice.
All right.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Good job.
He looks confident.
Practice makes perfect.
Oh, look at
Very
that.
confident. Look. Hey. Oh, boy, look at that.
Hold on.
I forgot we
I
had.
gotta do this now, sorry. I already did half of it.
I'm gonna leave mine on for protection.
I'm not leaving it now.
All right.
All right, thank you to the Lynn City Council for giving me the floor tonight. I'll be providing an update on the implementation of the city's ARPA funds, the American Rescue Plan Act funds. My name is Joey Huskins, and I serve as the city's ARPA Grants Manager in the Office of the CFO. This presentation will provide a brief overview of the city's compliance with the State and Local Fiscal Recovery Funds Program, by which we received $75.13 million from the U.S. Treasury. Please note that this is primarily an update on expenditures and federal compliance, so I will not be highlighting specific ARPA projects today, or ARPA-funded projects. But if you do have questions about project-specific things, then I can try to help you answer, or we have other folks that can help you answer to it today. All right. You may remember our ARPA dashboard from the last time I presented. So this continues to highlight the status of our city's allocated funds, as well as projects funded by the program, including 55 projects managed by the city and another 56 projects managed by partnering nonprofit organizations in the community. Of the $75.13 million total allocation to the city, you'll notice that almost all of our expenditures, encumbrances, and allocated funds at this point are about even. And then you will notice the additional $3.3 million that are unallocated at this time. I'll touch more on that in a couple slides because I'm sure there will be some questions. All right, so as most of us already know, the city's ARPA funds are a one-time allocation from the U.S. Treasury granted in response to the negative health and economic impacts from the COVID-19 pandemic. With this, we are bound to comply with a strict expenditure timeline for these funds. You'll notice the obligation deadline of December 31st, 2024, which we are starting to approach at this point. This is essentially when we enter into contracts, subawards, similar transactions that require payment. At this point, as of March 1st actually, 66% of our total ARPA allocation is obligated, which is actually on par or ahead of some neighboring municipal entities of similar allocations. And then you'll notice the December 31st, 2026 deadline, which of course is when we have to expend all of our funds. I'm confident that the city's on track to comply with both of these federal deadlines, and my top priority continues to be working with city personnel and nonprofit subrecipients to successfully fulfill on the projects that the city has committed towards. Do the next one. Okay, I know there may be some questions or concerns about the leftover funds and clawback, so I'm hoping I'll be able to address some of those concerns here. There are still ARPA funds left to appropriate, and I've separated those into kind of two buckets. There is that $3.32 million remaining in unallocated ARPA funds, which was intentionally reserved by the city to be used for eventual project overruns or ad hoc expenditures. Additionally, we have the $3.37 million from projects that either went under budget or were no longer expected to be completed within the required time frame.
Okay.
And then the kind of total we're dealing with is around $6.7 million.
Today.
There it is.
So the unallocated $6.7 million that I mentioned did not include the proposed allocations that went before the council today. So the amount below represents the remaining funds, that $4.73 million, after those were approved, if they were approved. That remainder, the 4.73, does need to be appropriated and encumbered by December 31st, 2024. So, the mayor's office, CFO's office, we're, taking a look at that and starting to kind of evaluate what would be spent on. And I think a large portion of that is going to be put towards the street and sidewalks projects and additional overruns that some projects are facing. And if we have any questions?
Any questions for the council? Councilor Longson.
Sorry, Mr. President, I was eating candy. Thank you for your presentation, Joseph. 3 questions. The allocated amounts, our Ways and Means just approved different allocations. Was it based through the survey that was conducted by the mayor's office 2 years ago?
They could better answer that question for me.
Yeah, Daniel?
Yeah, so the projects that were approved earlier, as we previously discussed, we've left sort of money available for project overruns. So a number of the projects that you approved earlier were projects that had increased costs. The remainder of them were either time-limited programming or, sorry, let me just go back to that slide. Time-limited programming or one-time expenditures. So I think in some ways, yes, because...
In some ways, yes. See, because GAR, that can be justified because they received allocation. My concern is just, we get this in our packet and then we vote. It takes us 3 days to even just read all the attaching documents. I know there's an allocated $4,700,000 left money. I just wish your office and the mayor's office would really prioritize our streets, our sidewalks, anything infrastructure in the city. I have no objection giving nonprofit organizations or other programs, but these are important projects that we need to look up to. Also, if we could see some updates from those nonprofit organizations that received money from ARPA to come here to the City Council and just give us an update of what happened to that money. Not necessarily, there's no timetable, but at least the public needs to know as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I say one thing?
Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilor Hogan.
The Lynn Commons has been a major problem for a long time with trash and litter. And that Roca team that we have out there, man, they've been unbelievable. I drive by the Commons, and it's hard to find the trash on the ground right now. And I see their truck out there every day. They go out every morning and do that. I saw them on Linfield Street one day cleaning up leaves. Lisa's got them all over the city. And I'm telling you, they're cleaning some parts of our city that haven't been cleaned like that before, and they've been deep cleaned. And I'm so impressed with the Commons, and that's coming out of some of this ARPA money, and I'll say that is a dollar well spent, because the Commons is our treasure, and it should look like a treasure when you enter our city and you see the Lynn Commons. It should be clean at all times, and I take my hat off to the Roca program and those kids that are out there doing that every day. So that's a well-spent dollar. Thank you for that.
Any other questions or comments? Councilor McLean.
I see there's still some remaining funds. Is that money going to be put back for people to apply for, or is that going to be just used at the discretion of the city?
I don't think at this time that we're planning to run an open process again. As you all may remember, about 2 years ago in 2022, there was a pretty extensive public input process. I think now that we're sort of backing up into these deadlines, the 2024 deadline and the 2026 deadline, that it may not be make sense to really spend the time trying to redo some of that outreach when we have a lot of the input and from the previous rounds. I think one of the things that Joey had touched upon too is that this 2024 deadline essentially has become even more
Real, concrete.
Yes, real concrete. So the Treasury released guidelines last year that basically interpret what it means to obligate, and that essentially, one of the things we had talked about was putting sort of funds into streets and sidewalks as a catch-all. And what these new guidelines basically say is that you can't just say you're going to do that. You need to have a signed contract with a vendor. Knowing all of the work that Joey and the CFO's team, the law department have put in, kind of working with MOUs with nonprofits and stuff, that it really doesn't make sense given the time perspective.
So there will be some suggestion or some discussion between the council and the mayor's office about what will happen with the rest of the funding?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah, absolutely.
So if I could for 1 second, some of the discussions that we've had, I mean, Councilor Fields here, he's our liaison to the mayor's office for this. The discussion is that as the timetable gets closer and that money looks like we may have to allocate it, we were looking to allocate it to the streets and sidewalks, because that was a huge thing. And if I could, I think everything has gone up, obviously, and even the bang for the buck that we get from our Chapter 90 money, I believe, isn't going to be able to be spent to pave as many roads as we used to. So the idea here is to plug the holes with overruns on projects, which we know are coming, and then at some point, if there's money left over, to try to get the roads done, because I mean, I drive for a living, as everybody knows, and I tell you, man, there's some tough streets out there. So I think that's the idea that we're trying to follow right now. So that's Councilor Field.
I'll let everybody go.
Yep. Councilor LaPierre.
It's okay. Danny, could you go back to the previous slide where it had the GAR expenditure and so forth? Forgive me if I don't know this. I don't know the acronym for COM. What's COM branding?
So the COM isn't an acronym. That's the city's unarmed crisis response team.
Oh, okay.
Been
okay.
Working towards.
I'm familiar with that. Okay. And I just want to put a plug in on the, and I have a question actually, on summer jobs for youth. Talking about this summer, I'm thinking, and you know, in the past, that has been supported by the operating budget and supervised by, let's say, Lynn Parks and Recreation out of the DPW account. Is this in addition, this amount through ARPA, or is ARPA now taking on the life of the total amount of youth we're going to employ this summer?
So this would be in addition
to
those funds, and also some of the external funds. I think as many of the folks know about how great this program is, but I'm not sure if many folks know that each year a number of young adults apply, and we're only able to offer a portion of them jobs.
Right.
So 259 applied in 2023, only 159 were hired. And so one of the goals that we've put out here is ensuring...
There'll be another 50 or 60 kids, let's say, out of this money, this pot, to supplement the budget from the city. So, and can we allocate for next summer, or are we after deadline on that line item? I mean, I'd love to increase that, don't get me wrong, but if we can't, can we hold over to next summer and do something similar, or would we be illegal, not in compliance?
So that's what we're looking towards, trying to see if there's a way in which we can fund this over multiple years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions from the Councilor Field?
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to echo everybody, just on behalf of the council. I know I'm the liaison, but anytime anybody's had a question, Danier and the mayor's office and Joey have been great about answering those questions. I know Councilor LaPierre just brought up the summer jobs, and that was a great question. If it was additional, yes, it's additional. I think a lot of us that have been going to the public safety meetings that we've hosted since the uptick in violence over the winter, It's programs like this that kind of pop up, during heated times. And that additional funding is something that we should all be proud of, to advocate for something like that to increase the numbers of youth getting jobs and being employed all summer long. So they're learning, important skills of working and earning a dollar, rather than, going down the wrong path. Whether it saves one kid or two kids, whatever it does, that's an important allocation. I think, just talking with DNA and have them answer the questions, that 4.7 amount, you may see even increase more between now and July 1st. Correct me if I'm wrong, DNA, that's kind of the guide for the mayor's office to kind of to make sure that the ARPA funds that have been allocated to the nonprofits and others really have a 6-month window to get that done, or it's going to come back. So that 4.7 might increase. And then, like you said, other things that have risen, the GIR project, these are all discussions that we had over the past year to set aside money for these unforeseen or expected cost risings. But everything that we've voted on today certainly serves merit, and they're all valid expenses in certain uses, and certainly with the federal government and their guidelines, it's kind of a tricky road to make sure we're doing everything according to what we have to. So I commend Joey in the CFO's office for overseeing all that and advising that. And anytime any of you, my colleagues on the council, have any questions, I'm certainly available to help answer what I know and certainly move forward with DNA and everything going forward. But we're going to see more of an update, I believe, from the mayor's office between now and July 1st to kind of what Councilor Allenson mentioned about having nonprofits come here and explain. The mayor's office has already been doing that all along. So once these funds go out, they do have great follow-up to make sure they're being designated not towards salaries, but for the intended use that they proposed and what those proposals were approved for. So they're already doing that. I don't think there's any need for individual nonprofits to have to come here to explain, because the ARPA team composed with the mayor's office has already been doing that all along.
All right. I just have a quick question, real quick. Jim, I guess Jim Lamont, the city attorney. The dollar amounts that the mayor has to come in front of the council for the approval, what is that amount, that threshold? Do you remember?
My recollection is $50,000 per council order from 2021.
All right, thank you. Councilor Allenson.
With due respect, Councilor Field, you represent us, you sit down in these meetings, but one thing they're really missing, and I felt like there's really no enough transparency with the allocation of funds. Basic questions like these are things that we should be furnished upon us way before our packets arrived. And also I would like to request in the future if we can really have enough time to review all of this so we can basically ask questions, because these are people's money, and it's really important for us to really have full understanding with enough allocation with this one.
Right.
I just have to say that. Thank you.
So you could call anybody, you got the packet on
totally
Friday,
understand,
and
Mr.
that's,
President.
my phone's always on, I think Councilor Fields is too, so going forward, if you have any questions, you can give us a call about that.
I always do, you know that.
I know, thank you. Any other questions?
I had a question.
Councilor Madry.
Thank you, Mr. President. So my question also was around summer jobs. I'm glad Councilor LaPierre already mentioned it. So the $200,000 would include exactly how many more youth, and is there a way to increase that amount from the $200,000?
I don't have the specific numbers of youth that it would be increased by, but basically those numbers that I noted earlier, just to kind of look back in 2023 and 2022, the community development has basically looked at trends over time in this, and they basically think that this is going to allow us to increase those numbers. But for the specific numbers, I don't have that on hand.
Okay, because I'm just interested because of the $4 million that we have extra. Why can't we just add more money to that, for example, and hire more youth?
Yeah, I think it's something we'll certainly look into. I think we'd also be running into that same dynamic where I mentioned where at the end of 2024, anything that the city has needs to be wrapped up in a contract that's signed. So I think it's a little bit difficult, kind of as I'm thinking right now about how to do that over a couple of years. But we're going to continue to look at this. So.
Awesome, thank you. And another question about the swim program, skills. Can you speak a little bit about what that is? How many, people that would service, exactly what that is for the 52,000?
Yep. So this is additional funding for skills and drills basketball and a swimming program to be put on through Parks and Rec. So the past few years, this has been funded through the school department, through their ESSER funds, which are essentially the school's version of ARPA funds. And as that is running out due to an earlier deadlines, this would basically supplant those funds. They'd be multi-week long programs. The skills and drills specifically is for 9 to 17-year-olds. And each session is going to have a maximum of 30 participants. And so.
Thank you. Sorry. One more quick question about the CALM branding. What branding are you talking specifically about for the $200,000? Are you talking about pens? Like what type of branding are you talking about?
Yep. So I know we have some folks here that may be better to speak about it. But essentially, the city's been working towards this for a number of years, and we've had a lot of great conversations about what this can look like, how this can complement existing resources. But folks need to know what it is to really utilize the resource. And so what this is going to do is we're looking for a consultant to design a branding and marketing campaign for this new resource. But we have someone here as well who's been involved with that, if you can better speak to it.
If you just give us your name and let us know where you're from.
Oh, yeah, sure. My name is Barbara O'Kenny. So I'm from Lynnfield, Massachusetts. So I help with conducting the research for the CALM marketing strategy. So for the strategy, we're hoping to make sure that it's something that can reach everyone in the diverse community of Lynn. So we really want it to be marketed in a way that is culturally competent, very much like considering linguistic considerations as well. So at the very least, like a bilingual or multilingual campaign. In a lot of my research, a lot of folks in the community talked about all the different languages and cultures that folks that reflect folks' backgrounds. So we want to make sure that when we're creating the marketing, the different words and descriptions and images are things that culturally align with everyone. So to be able to make sure we're able to do that in a way that's culturally relevant, but also reaches everyone in the community. That's what the allocation would be for. For the marketing team is going to come in and implement that.
Thank you. That's much more clear. Thank you.
Any other questions?
I just have a
Council LaPierre?
real quick comment. It's directed toward Councilor Meggie Madry. Just back of the envelope, back of the napkin math I did, for example, on summer youth jobs, at 30 hours a week, which is customarily what they do in July and August, at $15 an hour, times an 8-hour day, you would be able to employ 55 young people for $198,000, roughly. So it's an additional between 50 and 60, but I have it at 55 extra youth that will be the beneficiaries of this money.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you. That's the teacher in him, see that?
It's very rough
Right?
math, but
Nice.
close enough.
Well, polish it up
Wasn't a math teacher.
polish it up a little later, Councilor.
Good thing he chairs budget.
We have the mayor here. He might be able to actually speak on that. Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to add some context here for the summer jobs youth. I want to just make it clear that our intention this summer is to provide every youth who's eligible for employment a job.
Yes. Nice job.
Everybody. It's a moving target because part of it's grant funded and we're trying to maximize that first, right? But the idea is based on historical data that this would give us enough of a cushion that we could sort of make that the goal and then see where we go from there.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Appreciate that. Any other questions for the council? Council, how many?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, can you go back to the podium, please? So once we run out of this money, because this is ARPA money,
Oh, yeah.
then we cannot sustain this. We go back to our original plans in the past, so using what allocation from the city.
Right, and as you recall, our philosophy on the ARPA funds has been to use it for one-time expenditures. And however, in certain cases, we have decided that the programmatic value of a certain investment justified moving away from that. And so I think with all the conversations that we've had about community violence and engaging young people, we felt like this is something that's never been done in the city before, that we felt like was worth a shot. I think other communities have success trying to seek external funding sources for these kinds of comprehensive summer employment programs. And so we're gonna do that, working closely with community development to try to maximize the funding for the summer jobs. But this is the trade-off of making a programmatic investment, is that there's not going to be a dedicated funding stream to maintain that commitment in the future. Well, that's something that we'll have to think through and work through.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Anything else from the council?
Really, one last
Council
thing.
Lapierre.
To end on this note, myself and Attorney Lamanna let the record show that we were supervisors of Councilor Field at Gallagher Playground about 30-plus years ago. Councilor Field never got to that level of supervisory.
You saw how that worked out, huh?
So
Right?
he remained
You saw
as a
how-
counselor, but that's where Attorney Lamanna and I got our big start in the city through the Lynn Parks and Recreation Department.
I'd have to question who's watching who, that group, but
Under Lisa Nerick, so we won't say how old Lisa is.
Lisa was our boss. So.
Thank you.
any other comments from the council? I want to thank Denier and Joe, who's here tonight. Thank you. Appreciate you guys bringing this to our the Councilor Field.
Just for the record.
Yeah.
Between Alyssa Holland and I, we had 94 kids registered at Gallagher Playground the 2 years that we were there. So in the mid-'90s, we kept 94 kids
We gave you a
entertained.
participation trophy
So
for
it's
that.
well.
And just about every other Tuesday night, Mr. Field, you entertain us well here.
He
Thank you
got a
very much.
participation trophy for that as well, Mr. President.
All right.
We did honor him with
Never got a
that.
citation.
All right.
He got first place.
All right, before it gets too crazy, any other new business? What's the wish of the council?
Motion to adjourn.
Your motion to adjourn, we have a second, all in favor?
Aye.